When I was kicked out of the CI division of the police, long story, I was offered the opportunity to become a community police liaison. You know this? Officer friendly. The uniform guy who reads the press releases and goes to school, to convince innocent young people that the police really are your friends and you should rat out your parents for smoking pot. That guy? Gotta tell you, I was tempted. I mean, it's an easy gig. Straight days, expense account, clothes, and a car. All you have to do is be able to sound coherent and look good on camera. I washed out. Totally. Tell you why? 4 letters. M.A.D.D. Mothers Against Drunk Drivers. This is a terrorist group. So I was considering taking the gig, and the Ivory Tower sent me to a Mothers Against Drunk Drivers meeting. Now, I was a cop for over 20 years, and before becoming a detective, I served 10 years as a breathalyzer technician, which means I dealt with a lot of drunk drivers. 2 or 3 a week for 10 years, you do the math. So the mothers, as I like to call them, figured I was an ally. Now, how can you deal with more than 1,000 drunk drivers and not be an ally? Fact is, it's easy. Most of those drunk drivers were better people than the mothers I dealt with at that meeting. So the big push they were discussing at the meeting was to convince the lawmakers that the legal limit for alcohol should be reduced from 0.08 to 0.05. Never mind that a 19-year-old with a 0.08 has better reaction time than a 50-year-old with a 0.00 ever will. Never mind that your ability to drive is a personal thing based on your personal experience. Never mind that there have never been scientific studies that demonstrate a correlation between blood alcohol and propensity to crash. Those studies don't and can't exist. Mothers Against Drunk Drivers wanted the limit lowered from 0.08 to 0.05. They were shocked, if you know the reference, when I told them that the inevitable result of their efforts would be more drunks on the road. Well, think about it. The roadside tester, the alert, that we used was set to give a warn at 0.05 and a fail at 0.08. If someone blew a warn, we parked their car, issued them a 24-hour suspension, called them a cab, done deal. We're back on the road. If someone blew a fail, we arrested them. That means my partner and I are now tied up for the next 4 hours. Plus the breathalyzer technician that we are required to call out to do the proper tests. He, she, and their partner, because there are always 2 in a cruiser after dark, are also tied up for 4 hours because that's the time it takes to do the tests and process the arrestee. So you have 2 cruisers, 4 officers, tied up for 4 hours dealing with someone who blew a 0.07. If you're an average-sized man who has 1 mixed drink before dinner and 2 glasses of wine with dinner, you will blow over 0.05. But 16 man-hours of police time will be spent dealing with that man. That's 16 man-hours not available to deal with the guy at 0.300, who is smart enough to drive on the back roads. The guy who probably has 3 prior convictions and is driving without a license and without insurance. That guy gets away. But we have 2 cruisers, 4 officers, and 16 hours total dealing with a guy who had 1 cocktail and 2 glasses of wine. Needless to say, Mothers Against Drunk Drivers did not think I was a suitable candidate.